Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to some more Nanatsu no Taizai. Dude, what the fuck? This does not make me want to play Grand Cross. It makes me want to smash my phone. This is practically Fortnite dancing. This is a crime. So as a fan of Nanatsu no Taizai, I couldn't help but pop off at certain parts of this last chapter. The final arc as a whole, many kind of see it as a pimple on the face of the series, so to speak. And while I can't deny that, I feel talking about this arc can answer some questions as to what the future holds for Nanatsu no Taizai.
I think we should have that conversation.
Because while Nakaba has wrapped up the main story, which was only planned up to the defeat of the Demon King, he's already said the other side stories or whatever will be done once the series has ended, which it pretty much has. For anyone out of the loop, Kath was the final boss of the main story of Nanatsu no Taizai. That sounds like a joke. It's not. The 7 Deadly Sins barely showed up for this fight, and Arthur was pretty much carrying the series through these chaos chapters. Nakaba has revealed his role in the story to build an ideal Britannia, starting with Camelot, because that place got fucked. It pretty much just got used for a battleground the entire series. We really don't know anything about any of its natives besides Arthur, so who the fuck cares, am I right? So anyways, after Kath is beaten, the Sins finally disband. Arthur's off to rebuild his kingdom with Merlin. King and Diane go off to make their retarded giant fairy abominations. Bond gets to go live out his pedo fantasy with Elaine. And then there's Gowther. He's just off to find work at some mysterious destination. Does Nakaba actually know where Gowther is going? Why can't he stay in Leona's and find work? Meliodas is living in a fucking castle and Gowther can't even crash on the couch. Anyways, there's a lot of feels in those panels seeing the Sins go their separate ways. And as mentioned, it's been 1 year since Elizabeth showed up at the Boar Hat and they started their adventure. I think the craziest thing is Meliodas is going to become the king of Leonis, taking up the position when he and Elizabeth return from their honeymoon. And King Bartra flat out says he cannot wait to see his grandchildren. So you know they are gonna be working on that. At this point, everyone is in a great starting position for the Arthur spinoff that's been discussed. For anyone who doesn't know, Nakaba has planned to do an Arthur sequel. He's mentioned it in the Q&A in the first official fan book, as well as in other interviews. He's already mentioned that he has started on the new work, but has not said outright what it is. Now, if it is actually the Arthur sequel, it would kind of give an excuse for the rushed ending of Nanatsu no Taizai. And he said he'll do more side stories. He wanted to end the story of the 7 Deadly Sins because the Demon King has been defeated, but definitely seems like he has more plans. We still don't know where the Supreme Deity is. That could be held off for the Arthur sequel. Say if Nakaba wanted to write her out of the story, he could have done it with an explanation in the final arc, but he mysteriously left her out altogether. Now imagine if the Supreme Deity were to come back and pose a threat to Britannia when Meliodas' son or daughter is a teenager or a young adult, and nobody knows where Arthur is for sure because he's still out building his everlasting kingdom. If Meliodas were to get taken out of the picture early on and they had to go out in search of Arthur, that'd make one hell of a series. Merlin should of course have a big role in all this, not only because the Supreme Deity is partly responsible for the destruction of her homeland, but I'd be looking to Nakaba to correct just how out of character Merlin was in the Chaos arc. Not so much that she loves Meliodas, because that's been hinted at before, but how was her driving motivation and her search for chaos just doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyways, there's a really good chance we're going to be seeing the Sins in this sequel spin-off. So it'd be pretty cool to see them redesigned, a bit more matured. Aside from Gowther and Merlin, who don't really age. Bond, of course, lost his immortality. But most of all, it'd just be cool to see this next generation and how Nakaba will handle that. Will they be relevant in the sequel? As many of us know in Arthurian legend, Tristan, the son of Meliodas, and Lancelot, the son of King Bond, were both a member of Arthur's Knights of the Round Table. So will we actually be seeing a Sins universe version of these legendary figures? It'd be insane to see the child of Zeldris and Gelda having traits of a vampire and a demon. For some people might think that Nakaba isn't working on something Nanatsu no Taizai related. I don't think that's really the case. Aside from things he said recently and the clear intention to do the Arthur spinoff within the context of the story, but simply Nakaba is a very seasoned mangaka. This is not even close to his first rodeo. From one-shots to series getting cancelled to doing entire series in the past. Yet Nanatsu no Taizai is his biggest work. It may not sell as much as it used to, but there's still more money to be made across the whole franchise. The series is still a big earner for Kodansha, so I doubt they're quite ready to phase it out entirely. And there's really no guarantee a new series by Nakaba would do well if it's not tied into the 7 Deadly Sins universe, which sucks to think about, but really look at Samurai 8. Kishimoto's new series is pretty much getting the axe. Of course, that's a different magazine and publishers altogether, but the idea really does apply here as well. Not to mention the other mangaka who are really only popular for one series. Anyways, Nakaba started Nanatsu no Taizai about 12 years into his professional manga career. Now it's sold over 33 million copies, which is insane, making it an all-time great. He's still showing a vested interest in the Nanatsu no Taizai universe. Is his next project Sins related? Only time will tell. Maybe I'm full of shit. With that said, I want to thank you guys very much for watching. It's been really real. I'll praise the sun, and I'll talk to you next one. Peace.
Don't mind fuck up a check as long as you said I make this shit my calling. LV, what you like? Finny girl, fuck the price. That D&G looking right. Yeah, that product putting up a fight.